Hey guys. Let's see, we got 17 people online. Okay. How you guys doing? Good, good. Let's see what this is. Okay, so 541. We got what happened there? Listen, you got to get on your own screen, okay? Just letting you know. All right. There's no sharing screens. This is for Leslie and Amato. You cannot share stuff like that. It doesn't count if you're not there, okay? Moses, absolutely. All right. The only sad part of it is that we are realtors. I mean, not you guys yet. Well, Moses, you are. And we know very well that there's no weekends, there's no holidays, right? We make our own weekends and holidays. That's the advantage, right? The disadvantage is, thank God it's Friday. Nope. All right. Tomorrow's like, I'm quitting. Just, I don't know who he's talking to, but he gave like this expression. Like, what's going on? Friday. No Fridays? All right. What do we got? Do you guys have any questions regarding anything we went over yesterday? Before we start, any questions? Leslie says, I'm on my own screen too. Where are you? Nope. Don't see it. You are? It's not showing up here. You sure? I think you're in the wrong. Oh, there you go. There you go. Gotcha. Now I got you. Uh-huh. So I get two of you? I mean, one was already enough, Leslie. Anyway. Tamori, I see you. Who else we got? We got Tara's here, Lita's here, Brian, Mauricio, Shakia. Shakia, where's the baby? No baby, no class. You gotta go. Victoria's here. Alessandra, I always get to see the house or the car. What else? Connie, picture is there. Maria, picture is there. Michelle is there. Michelle, how you feeling today? Better? Good, good. Who else? Sarah, I see you. Jonathan, Myra, Sandra. Great. All right. Jessiel is just joining, so don't talk about her, please. We can stop now. Who else? All right. Tamori says 3 people. Well, it counts for 3 because there's a 2 and 1, and then okay, gotcha. All right. Who else is joining? Somebody just joined. Make sure your cameras are on. I did mention Victoria already, right? Mentioned you. Oh, Shaisha joined. All right. Hi, Shaisha. How are you? By the way, I just sent some stuff to John. He hasn't replied yet. All right. Let's see. 21 people right now. All right. Question. How can you join through your computer? Let's go to the chat. So the link that I've been sending, besides the one that's on the student portal, the links that I've been sending, both in the Facebook group and in the WhatsApp, you can just either click that link, or if you notice, I always send the meeting ID and the password. I do that on purpose because if you don't have the link, you just go to zoom.us and it gives you an option that says there, join meeting, right away on the front page. You enter the Zoom ID, password, you're in. Okay? Give it a try. She wants to be on 2 screens as well. Like she's jealous of Leslie now. Leslie got on 2 screens? I wanted to. Alright, somebody else just joins. Francina. Hi, Francina. Who else? Natalia. Hi, Natalia. Okay. Alright, cool. 24 people. Maria, nice mask. Okay. Alright, cool. Shaisha, you have extra people as well. I have to charge for that. I'm just saying. People in the background, they don't count. Okay, Tamori, now we have 2.5 because Leslie's now half on the models and 100% on hers. So that's what it is. All right, guys. So 22 people. We're gonna start. It is now 5:46, and we have 110 questions to go through. My first question to you is, so this is the 111th question. The first question is, was it helpful yesterday? Do you think this exam prep helps a little bit to understand what the questions will be like and see how to break it down? All right, cool. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. No, don't worry about it. See, my goal is not to get to the 110 questions. My goal is for you guys to understand how it goes and where you're missing it. And I can guarantee you, 90% of the times is you don't know how to read. No offense, right? So that's why I break it down. Okay. So let's go over this. Question number 1. You guys already know we got 80 general real estate questions. This is general math. This is general math. General, Natalia just had a scare. This is general real estate. So all over the United States, it's the same practice, and the majority of the world has something very similar to it. And then we have 30 that are specific to New Jersey. So if you master the general real estate, then you'll pass, right? And you just need a little bit of New Jersey. So I'm just giving you a heads up, Moses. You're good. You got New York. You nailed it. Shakia, you're good too. You guys, as long as you pass the first time, you should be able to pass now Jersey. All right. Let's go over here. First question. You guys already know the rules, so I'm not going to tell you the rules, but I'll see how you guys play with the first one. And starts right here. A house contains screens, smoke alarms, and a crystal chandelier. The contract of sale mentions none of these items specifically. Before final closing, the seller has the right to remove. So again, without moving forward, let's understand. We're talking about certain items within the property, right? And nothing specifically stated in the contract, listing agreement or contract. So now the question is, right before the closing, what can the seller do? Let's see. Brian, you're fired. A, the screens, because they are trade fixtures. B, smoke alarms, which are personal property. C, chandelier, because it's appurtenance. Or none of the items. Question number 1. What can the seller remove? So we start with a question that has a lot of stuff to read. In the state exam, skip it. Go to the short ones first, get them out of the way. Here we have to deal with it. What can they remove? It was nothing specifically stated in the contract. All right, getting a few answers coming through. Thank you for those of you that just joined us. Okay. What are screens? So screens like the screens for the windows, for instance, like those mesh screens, okay? If it was TV, we'll say TV, just letting you know, if that's what you were thinking. Okay. Now, this is why we don't put two people in the same room. Leslie was smiling and laughing at whatever Amato's trying to answer. I don't know. I guess that's what it is. Different opinions. Come on. Let's see what we got. Dimitar, join us. Welcome. Oh, no, it's just the ceiling. Oh, he's back. Okay. Good. All right. Majority of you have one answer. Some of you have mixed feelings. Let's see what happens. All right. Trying to log in, and I can't. Let's see. Hold on 1 second. I got one person that can't log in. All right. So, like I said, we got different answers. Let's go over this. One by one. A house contains screens, smoke alarms, and a crystal chandelier. The contract of sale mentions none of the items specifically. None of the items specifically. Before the final closing, the seller has the right to remove what? So, if nothing's mentioned, hold on. If nothing is mentioned specifically, that alone says, can't remove anything. But let's go by process of elimination then. The screens, because they're trade fixtures. No, because everything that's trade belongs to a business. Okay, so even if you did not understand what we said here, this is business. But we're talking about a house, we never mentioned business. So A is definitely not the correct answer. B, smoke alarms because they're personal property. No, they're not personal property. There are fixtures that belong to the house. So real estate. That means real property. So nope. All right. Let's go to C. Chandelier because it's an appurtenance. What does appurtenance mean? We're looking at two properties that are attached to each other, side by side. So, sorry, can't be removed. So the answer is none of the items. Okay, none of the items can be removed because none of them were specified in the contract. But even if you did not see that, let's go through process of elimination always. You guys got it? Any questions here? All right, cool. Next, I'm getting a bunch of cameos today. A lot of people showing up on the cameras. I'm going to charge extra. It's the last day. I'll charge double, triple, quadruple. That's it. All right, number 2. The amount of earnest money deposit is determined by. What is earnest money deposit? It's called good faith. Okay? So the reason why I do this, if you guys notice, is I stop in the question right away, is for us to identify stuff that we might not know out of the top of our head what it is. So stop right there before you read anything else. What is earnest money deposit? Good faith deposit. So who determines the amount of the good faith deposit? Is it A, state law, B, the broker, C, agreement of the parties, or D, the local association of realtors? Amount of good faith deposit. $27 people on the line. Make sure everybody answers except those driving. Okay? Maria's already delegating. Like, hey, answer my questions. I see that. Make sure, hey, Francina, make sure you put the question number first and then the answer. Arelis, you were able to join. Hi. Tidy's here too. Okay, we're getting there. Maria, you look a little manly today. All right. So the answer is correct. C. Good faith deposit is determined by the party. So if I say I'll put $1,000 as good faith deposit and the seller says, yeah, I want a little bit more. If I agree to it, we put more. If we don't agree to it, then we don't put any more. We're out. Does that make sense? So it's definitely between the parties, the seller and the buyer. Let's go. Number 3. There you go. Nelson McDonald sold his house on his own and still owed a broker a commission. Yesterday we had a question similar to this, right? So Nelson sold his house on his own but still owed commission. He must have signed what? An open listing, a net listing, exclusive right to sell listing, or exclusive agency listing. Should be easy by now. Hit me. Michelle, don't argue. Just answer. You're good. All right. Just yell. Always put the question first. So 3, and then your answer. Remember, they still owe a commission. They still have to pay the broker, no matter what. There's 3 types of listings authorized in New Jersey. One of them is illegal, so let me help you. One of them is illegal. There's 3 types of listings authorized in New Jersey. We have open listing, which everybody is game, like, hey, whoever brings, right? And I don't owe commission to anybody. And then, because somebody's owed a commission, we know that it's not this one. So we're down to 2, just like yesterday. We're down to 2 of them. In one of them, you have to pay commission no matter what. In the other one, if you sell on your own, you don't have to. Okay? And always look at how it's written. One of them says clearly, doesn't matter who sells, I have the exclusive right to sell. Right? That means that even if you, the seller, sells without my help, I have the exclusive right to sell. That means you still owe me a commission. So correct answer is C. Okay? Tidy, you're funny. Question number 3. I think I'm doing better today. We still got like 107 to go, but I agree. Everybody's doing better today. Shakia, make sure you put the answer, number the answer first. Lita as well. Thank you. All right. Next. Which can be executed without subjecting the signers to further responsibility for title. So, before we go anywhere, who signs the transfer title? I want you guys to tell me that in the chat. Who signs the transfer title? Who signs the transfer title? The seller. Correct. So that's why we're breaking it down. So it says right here, without subjecting the signers to further responsibility. So which one of these does not impose any type of responsibility or liability on the seller, because the seller is a signer? So, is it A, quitclaim deed, B, special warranty deed, C, warranty deed, or D, bargain and sale deed? Which one of these does not subject the seller, the signers, right, to further responsibility? Okay. Is it the quitclaim deed, special warranty deed, or bargain and sale deed? Okay, I think it's unanimous decision. The one that gives the least protection to the buyer is the quitclaim deed. Therefore, the seller is not subjected to any liability if something goes wrong. Absolutely. Correct answer is A, quitclaim deed. Now, make sure you guys are writing this down on a piece of paper as well, so then you can know how many you had right, how many you have wrong, what you have to study, and what you don't. If you need me to tell you which chapter this is, I will let you know as we go. Just let me know, chapter, and I'll tell you. Number 5. The utility company dug up Andrea Dunham's garden to lay gas lines. Now, the company had an easement recorded at the county clerk's office. Andrea claimed that the easement was invalid because she was never told about it. The easement, and let's stop right here for a second. We're saying utility company, they dug the garden to put the gas lines. The company had an easement. What is an easement? What does this mean? It's a right. And it was recorded. Andrea says, well, I didn't know about it, but it was recorded. So there's a few things here that should pop up as you read, okay? Just yell to answer you on the chapter. It was chapter 19. Now, right here. Andrea says, well, I didn't know about it, so it's not valid. The easement was valid, even if she had never heard of it. The easement was valid only if the company could prove that she knew about it when she bought it. The easement was appurtenant, or the easement had expired if it had not been used for 10 years. Okay? And zoom out a little bit. There you go. So, utility company. They have an easement. The easement was recorded. So that means there's constructive notice. Remember that? So two things that should pop up right now and tell you the answer. Recorded means constructive notice. It's available. If she did not know, that's her problem, right? And then the other thing is that it's a right. And being a right, it's an easement. It's called actually an easement in gross. It means that it was valid, even if she had never heard of it. A right is a right. Can't remove it. Okay? This is under Chapter 6, Estates and Interest. Remember? Easements. They are rights. We also have licenses, which are privileges. And we have encroachment, which is illegal extension or taking over other people's property illegally. Okay? Now, what I'm doing today, guys, is giving you enough time to answer. So if you're falling behind, right, I'm sorry, but today is just to show you something else, okay? So I'll give you enough time to answer certain questions. Others, I'll give you more time, okay? I'm just trying to show you how you should pace yourself. Now, when the court orders real property sold to satisfy unpaid lien, this process is known as A, easement, B, encumbrance, C, attachment, or D, foreclosure. If the court orders real property to be sold to satisfy unpaid lien, what is it called? Queenie, make sure you put the number of the answer, please. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. Okay. And we got unanimous decision again. Boom. Foreclosure. Because a lien means money. And if it's unpaid money, the house gets foreclosed. Very good, very good. All right, 7. Now we need calculators. And the tax rate. Did you guys go buy the calculators like I told you? The $1. Simple instructions. I'm telling you, you can pass this exam. They're simple instructions. All right. The tax rate. Guys, pay attention. Tax rate is $7.80 per $100 of assessment. If the property is valued at $87,500, but it's assessed at 50% of its value, what is the total property tax? Tax rate, $7.80 per $100. If the property is valued at $87,500, but is assessed at 50% of its value, what is the property tax? Okay. Moses says the phone works well. Not for state exam. Yeah, not for school exam. No phones during school exam. All right, teamwork is great. I just received a message. Bruno, I like the house. While I'm here teaching, one of my agents went to show a property for me, for my clients. And she liked the house. So what do we do next? We put an offer. While I'm teaching. Anyway. What do we got? All right. State exam, make sure you guys skip these questions all the way to the end. You mark them, it's the last thing you do, even if you're good at it, okay? I don't care how good you are at math. I don't care how fast you can read 3 or 4 lines of the question. Skip them all to the end. Address the quick ones first. Shaisha says, computer's acting crazy. So my answers might be wrong. That's not what you said? You know, assumptions. Yeah. Jeff, what is that? 73,412? What kind of taxes are those, man? NJ taxes, says Jonathan. Yep. I know. You forgot the dot. You know what? Maybe you have Brian's tablet, so it doesn't recognize what you're typing. Brian, you knew that was coming, right? All right, let's see. Queenie, we'll work on that. Don't worry. If you have any questions, just ask me. All right, I'm giving you enough time to answer if this was the actual state exam. And 3, 2, 1. Let's go for the answers. Now, I don't know. Perfect. Today's the day of the I don't know, so it's great. So, 7. Is it A, $682.50? Is it B, $3,412.50? Is it C, $6,825? Or D, $13,650? And the correct answer is B as in boy. Yay, some of you are really happy. All right, those that had wrong, let's go over this. The first thing I always told you, and that's why I stressed it so much, I told you that $7.80 per 100, every time you see per 100 means per cent, right? So drop the dollar sign. This is 7.8%. That's the first thing right away. Drop the dollar sign. If it's per 100, it's per cent. That's like the easiest shortcut I can give you right there. Okay? We don't have to divide by 100. You don't have to do anything other than drop the dollar sign, add the percent. The next thing we have is that it's the value of the house is $87,500. But taxes are based on assessment. And the assessment value for taxes is 50% of market value. So 50% of that. So that's the first thing we have to do is figure out what's 50% of that. Now, I don't need the steering wheel here, right? You guys know that 50% is half. So all you got to do is divide by 2, right? Okay? So we're going to go 87,500. We're going to divide by 2. And what do we have? We got 43,750. Is that correct? I don't know. Am I right? Okay. All right. My calculator still works. Good. It's Friday, I know, but still works. Okay, great. So 43,750. This is the assessed value. And this is the number we need. Because to calculate taxes, guys, we never calculate from market value unless they tell us to. Like yesterday, we had a question that said that reassesses at market value, right? We always calculate what's the assessed value. In this case, 50% of that. Okay? So now we can apply the taxes. We're going to go to a steering wheel right here. And let me ask you something. What numbers do we have? What are we trying to figure out? We're trying to figure out taxes. Taxes are always on top, the tax value, because taxes are a portion of the value. Okay? So then we have 2 spots that we have to fill, and those are in the bottom. Okay? Value always goes here, and then rates always go here. So the value is 4,3,750, and here the rate was 7.8% or 0.078. Now, if the numbers are at the bottom, what do we do, guys? We multiply. So go ahead. 43,750 times 7.8%. Those of you that had wrong, let me know in the chat. Those that had wrong, let me know in the chat. What answer did you get now? What was the number that you just got when you did this? All right. Did you understand why, Taisha? Where's Taisha? Taisha. Shaisha, sorry. My bad. She's going to kill me now. Where are you? Oh, right there. Shaisha. All right. I know. I'm so sorry. For some reason, I was thinking about Tasia. That's what it was. And then talking to you. She's still alive, right? All right. So you got it? Who else had this wrong? I see here Shaisha had it wrong, and then somebody else had it wrong. Let's see. Quinny, did you get it? Where is Quinny? Did I lose you? Oh, right there. Did you get it? And who else had it wrong? Natalia, did you get it? Okay. No, I know you didn't have an answer. My question is, did you now get it after when I went through these steps, or do you still have a question here? She always puts a bridge as a background. I'm not sure if like it's math, so I'm going to jump off a bridge over math. I don't know. Okay, you have to practice. Okay, here's the thing. Queenie, if you have any question with any math questions, so there's like 36 at the end of the math chapter. If you have any questions, just send me a message. Like yesterday, Melissa had sent me a question. As soon as I was done with class, I sent her the answer to that question. I broke it down for her to understand what was the answer for it, okay? So take advantage of this resource. Reach out to me, all right? I want you to pass. I don't want to see you on my screen anymore. All right. Let me take this out of here because I need the room. Okay. 8. When appraising an office building, the appraiser is most concerned with what? When appraising an office building, accrued depreciation, annual mortgage payments, comparable sales, or net annual income. If it's an office building, what is the appraiser going to use? And by the way, it says most concerned with because as you guys know, there's 3 approaches and sometimes multiple approaches apply to the same thing. So if it's an office building, most concerned with, and Queenie, I got you. I understand. I did not ignore the message. Hey, Michelle, did you kick Brian out of the house? Easy. All right. And the correct answer is NOI. If it's a building, if it's an office building, there's income, but there's not many comparable sales. Right? So NOI, the annual net operating income, is the most used appraising principle or approach. Next, 9. All right. Guys, listen up, because this one you have to pay close attention to, otherwise you're definitely going to miss it. A borrower obtained a second mortgage loan for $20,000 at 10%. So second loan, $20,000 at 10%. It called for payments of $175 a month. So that means that the monthly payments for this loan are $175 per month over a period of 5 years. Now, the final installment would be a balloon payment. Yeah, y'all just did the whole movement there. So it'll be a balloon payment. So this loan is what? Is it a fully amortized loan? Is it a partially amortized loan, a straight loan, or a blanket loan? Okay? So there's a lot of information here that doesn't matter. There's just two things that I pointed out that are important, which is $175 a month, and the final payment is a balloon payment. So is this a fully amortized loan, a partially amortized loan, a straight loan, or a blanket loan? Shakia, question number first. 9B. I'm not saying B is the correct answer yet. I'm just saying put the number, then the answer. Thank you. What type of loan is this if the final payment is larger than the others? If it's inflated, right? Was that your gut feeling, Maria? Okay, let's stick to that. Don't change anything. All right, guys, so here we go. Ready? If all the payments are the same, beginning to the end, that's called a fully amortized loan. That means that self-liquidating, balance reaches zero, right? But because there's a balloon payment, that means that these payments are not enough to amortize. That means they're partially amortizing. Correct answer is B as in boy. You guys got it? Any questions? All right. This is chapter 14 in case you guys need it. I know for some of you, you might need it. So chapter 14. Not going to explain now, Maria. Otherwise, we'll go back to the chapter. So I'll explain whatever's related to the question, and if we get a reverse mortgage later, I'll address it, okay? Chapter reverse mortgage, we talk about in chapter 15. It's right at the beginning, very first page. All right, calculators. I gave you the answer to this on page 195, but because you cannot use your book right now, you're going to have to remember it. So, if the interest rate is 5% and the monthly interest payment is $650, then the principal amount would be, so they're asking, what is the total loan, right? So the interest is 5%, monthly payment $650. What is the principal amount? Go. You're not entitled to go to the book. Do not search, do not open, please. All right. And Brian's driving a stick shift. Very good. That's a real car. Love it. Arelas, you got question mark? It's normal. Look at everybody's. Like you see the smoke? Can you guys see each other's? like just skip to the left or to the right, whatever you're using, there's smoke going up. I know this is not an easy question. I mean, it is an easy question, but it's not an easy question, like to perceive it and understand it. See, so far, you're wrong. This house is very cheap, $13,000. That's a very cheap house. And the fact that everybody is doing that says a lot. What is, just yell, sorry, what is that? 617? 9,617? What's happening? See, I gave you a heads up before you went into this, didn't I? I know which ones are toughest or not. Do you guys understand why I say leave it to the end? Last thing you do is math. I don't care how good you are at math. Nope. Let me sit down because I'm going to give you another minute. So, interest rate. Remember, interest rate is annual, right? Rates are annual. They're giving you a monthly payment, right? Interest rates are annual. They give you a monthly payment. For you to use the steering wheel, you need to have annual payments because everything needs to be annual. Let's start with that. And fill in the blanks after that. Some of you are like, oh, I got it now. All right. I don't know if you guys are seeing the answers popping up, but like they like totally different. Like there's not one answer that equals the other. All right. Mauricio, $156? All right. I was gonna say Aurelis was bad, but you just went. She went from $1,083 for this house, right? You went $156 for this house. Comma relax? I don't know what a comma relax is. It's a new term. Shaisha, 7,410. Do you think it is? Do you think that's the value of a house when the payments are $650 a month? Jesse already got the bottle of wine. Sarah, you got a bottle of wine too? No, not today. All right. And Michelle said that Brian had forgot something. We know what it is. He went to the liquor store. That's what it is. Jeff says, I'll buy it. All right, you guys ready for the big reveal? Ready? Let's do this. Is it 130,000? Is it 156,000? Is it 84,000 or 325,000? Before I give you the answer, guys, have you noticed that at least 3 of these numbers were close? One never showed up, which was this. But if you guys saw, we had like 13,000, right? Somebody had $156 and then said it was a comma instead of a period or whatever. You know, excuses, just saying. And then we saw a lot of 325s, didn't we? Did you guys see that pop up? Okay. So here we go. I told you that rate is annual. The payment is monthly. For us to use in the steering wheel, the first thing we have to do is multiply the monthly payment by 12. So the first thing we're going to do is 650 times 12. How much is that? 650 times 12. 7,800. Now this is the annual payment. Now that we have both annual, now we can go to the steering wheel. Simple. Okay. We have rate and we have a portion or payment. We're trying to figure out value. So now, even if you don't know anything else, just fill in the blanks. Rate always goes here. So 5% or 0.05. And then what goes on top? The payment, 7,800. If a number's on top and a number in the bottom, what do? We divide. So calculators, go ahead. 7,800 divided by 0.05 or divided by 5%. You kept on doing times 0.95, I know. You guys got it now? What did the 95 have to do with this? Remember, interest rate is what you pay for the lifetime of the loan. So why they didn't say down payment? Why did you go for the 95? You guys got it? If they said 5% down payment, then maybe you want to look at the LTV, which would be 95%. You guys understanding what I'm saying? All right? So, Shaisha, did you just say lies? I mean, who's lying here? And with a Y. That was insulting. Anyway. All right. Is there anybody that still has a question here? Let me know in the chat. Send a message. Let me know. By the way, take a note. This is page 195. On page 195, there was an example on how to figure out what was the annual interest, what was the monthly interest, what was the balance of the loan after the payments, and how much was left the balance of the mortgage. All right. You can come over. I love it. Told you guys, teamwork. Look at this. Look at this. Thanks, Mars. Superstar over here. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah. Is this one of those turbocharged that you do sometimes?
Yeah, you will be teaching until tomorrow morning.
Until tomorrow morning. So, guys, we're not getting out of here until tomorrow morning because he got me a turbo supercharged coffee. No, he's not the one that got the sale. It's another one. I'm telling you guys, that's how it is. Teamwork. All right. So, Cafe Bustelo. What? Maria's funny. Like, oh, wow. So, he gets a sale and brings me coffee on top of it? I'm no king, but I like that treatment, though. I mean, that would be great. All right, so let's do this. Any questions on this? If not, then we're going to move forward to 11. And I'm going to clear what's on the screen. Courtney, no problem. I just received your message on WhatsApp. All right. So 11. Ezra dies and devises his real property to his second wife for her lifetime. This one's like level 5 question. Like hard question. After which the property will pass to Ezra's children. Ezra's children own. All right. Let me read again before I go to the answers. Very, very important you understand what's being asked. Ezra died. But in the will, he devised, because that's what devise means, there's a will, devised the real property, so transferred the real property to his second wife. When she dies, the property goes back to the children. Okay? Now, Ezra's children own what? And I just tricked you on something I just said, so pay attention. They own what? Is it life estate? Is it reversion? Is it remainder interest? Or estate for years? Tomorrow, yes, it was B. So, in this one, what do they have? Nope. And Mauricio is now thinking, oh, the evil smile is there again. Yes. The evil smile. All right. So, it's not asking what does the wife have. It's asking what the children have. Are the children a first party to the transaction? No. So I tricked you with one thing that I said, and some of you went for that answer. I said reverts. And you went for reversion. No. Because reversion meant that he went back to Ezra or his heirs. Right? But that's if there's no will. In his will, he was clear that it was from Ezra to the wife. Now, we're not asking what the wife has, because then it would be life estate. She owns a life estate. She owns it as long as she's alive. But that's not what they're asking. They're asking about Ezra's children. What do they own? Now, for the three people that answered D, estate for years, this right here, is a lease hold estate. This involves tenants and not ownership. So, no. Correct answer is C, remainder interest. Because Ezra's children are a third party to the transaction. Look what it says. It says it's from Ezra to his wife, and then when she dies, he determined that the property goes to the children. He determined. It is not by reverting back to him while he's alive, and if he's not alive, it goes to the heirs. He determined a particular group of people, in this case the children, to receive the property. It's already in the deed stating. So every time there's a third party, they are called remaindermen. Therefore, remainder interest. Third party. Okay? You got it? What chapter? Chapter 5? Yep. Chapter 5. You guys good? All right, next. 12. The prospective borrower decided to change the loan from an FHA insured to a conventional loan. We answered this question yesterday. In this situation, the lender must issue a new loan estimate. Does not have to issue a new loan estimate. Has to meet the original closing date, or is responsible for any changes caused by any delays caused by the change. So the prospective borrower, the buyer, changed completely the loan from FHA to conventional. What does the lender, the bank, have to do? Do they have to issue a new loan estimate? They don't have to issue a new loan estimate. They have to still close at whatever date was determined, or they're responsible for any delays caused by that change. Okay? While you guys are answering, if there's anybody watching on YouTube Live, I have the chat open. So if you want to answer these questions, you can as well. Let's see. All right. It looks like everybody's in agreement. Because there's changes to the loan, we talked about this yesterday, right? Because there's changes to the loan, then it triggers what? Nothing. Or does it? What is it? Tell me. Who's going to answer this one? Why do they have to issue a new loan estimate? Everybody's going for A. I want to see who's going to answer, because this was talked about yesterday. Just mixing Spanglish. Right, got it. She wants to say porcentaje and percentage. Got it, perfect. Interest rate. Is it a different interest rate? Is it a different down payment? Is it it might not be the 20%. A conventional loan could be 3, could be 5%. We don't know. All right, yes, really. Here's the thing, guys. It could be for any of those reasons that you're stating, actually. Any of those. The fact that we went from FHA to conventional, it changes PMI, it changes down payment, it changes loan structure altogether. So any changes to a loan, we mentioned this yesterday, and that's why I want to be clear about this. Any changes to a loan will always trigger a new loan estimate. Okay? Always. You guys got it? Okay, so that's what you look for. Yesterday we had escrow, right? Tax and insurance. Would that trigger? The answer is no, because it doesn't change the loan. But this one changes the loan. 13. The market data approach. Market data approach is most important in appraising what? A church. There's like a level 3 over here. Older residence, apartment building, or newly constructed residence. Market data do not answer yet. Think. There's 2 potential answers here. Think. Market data approach is most important in appraising what? A church, older residence, apartment building, or newly constructed residence. What is the market data approach? Comparables. That means we have to have enough comparables, right? I'm giving opportunity to 2 people to change their answer. There has to be enough comparables. That means equal or similar properties on the market, correct? How many churches are there for sale that we can use as comparables? Not many. Apartment buildings. How many apartment buildings do we have for sale on the market? Not as many. But if we do, they're not the same, right? We use the income approach instead of this one. And we're down to B and D. Okay? So, we're down to B and D. We have either older residence or a newly constructed residence. Which one of these will use comps or will be more effective to use comps? One of these, the most effective way, is the cost approach. The other one, the most effective way, would be market data or comparables or sales comparison approach. Ready? Okay. So let's look at this. A newly constructed residence, how many properties can we compare them to? We have to look at newly constructed properties in order to compare, right? But because it's newly constructed, there might not be many to compare to. So the most effective one for this would have been the cost approach. Therefore, the correct answer is B as in boy, older residences. Because there's way more of those on the market that we can compare to. That's chapter 16. All right? Mauricio, no White Claw today? Or that's only for outside? I see, dark beer. Guinness. Is it Guinness or is it just the cup that's Guinness? Okay. All right. So, 14. Among several pieces of information that the lender must gather before issuing a loan estimate, the LE, is the applicant's signed affidavit that the borrower has complied with fair housing guidelines, statement of religious beliefs, social security number, or estimated earnings statement. Among several pieces. Remember, aliens. These are the completed application is aliens. Among several pieces. Do not answer yet. I'm giving you a hint right now. Okay, this is a lifeline. Some of you already started off wrong. So, aliens. That's an acronym. Among those several pieces, right? What do we need out of these to issue the LE? What is a completed loan application? Is it a signed affidavit saying that I will comply with, as a buyer, I will comply with fair housing? Is it statement of religious beliefs? Is it your social security number or estimated earnings statement? I feel like we're half and half here. All right. All right, still missing a few. What do we need for a completed loan application? We need aliens. Aliens is the address of the property, right? L is the loan amount. Good so far? I is the income, but it's not an estimated income, it's the actual income. We cannot estimate, we have to know exactly how much you make. So let me cross that out. Income. E is for the estimate of the property value. Okay, we don't have that here, so I'm going to skip it. All right. What else? N is the name of the borrowers. And then S is Social Security. As a buyer, you don't have to sign anything about discrimination. So A and B are out of the way because of that. Got it? This is chapter 15 and chapter 21. It's mentioned like 10 times in those two chapters. Aliens. Complete a loan application. And it's okay to have this one wrong. That was a tough chapter, I know. All right. 15. This one should be easy. From chapter 2. Right? It was just the other day, wasn't it? Ready? Broker Bensley listed the Corwin's property. His salesman, Sandow, accepted a check of $5,000 earnest money with the offer. So the good faith deposit came with it. Sandow should take the check and do what? Go to Atlantic City. All right, go shopping. There you go, Marisa. Instead of going to invest, you're going to go shopping? Seriously? He should give that money to the Corwins, the sellers, right? Hold it until closing. give it to Bensley, or deposit in Stan's special escrow account. As you guys are answering, I'm going to tell you a quick trick. Write down who they are. Bensley is the broker. So write it down. Corwin's, let's take that out and put seller. Sometimes you put these names and you have to figure out who's who. So let's cut to the chase. Who are these people? Stan, let's not call him Stan, let's call him salesperson. So let's translate this now. The broker listed the seller's property, and the salesperson accepted a $5,000 check with the offer. The salesperson should take the check and give it to the seller, hold it until closing, give it to the broker, or deposit it in the salesperson's special escrow account. Is that better? I charge more for dogs on camera. In my previous class, I had cats. Now I got dogs. Great. I'm more of a dog person anyway. Sorry, Jonathan. Trick question, I know, right? Guys, think about it. Well, Jonathan, that doesn't make any sense. Guys, think about it. Coffee is strong, Maria. Thank you. My headache is going away. Make sure you think before you answer. There's a lot of wrong answers. Maria, you need one ASAP. What is that? The dog or the coffee? That's nice, Jonathan. All right, I already see a few correcting. That's very good. Yes, it is, Jeff. All right, this is chapter 2. I do recommend you guys go back to the basics because chapter 1, 2, and 3 are the most heavily tested chapters throughout the nation. There are 30% of the exam almost. Just chapter 3 has 22 questions. Okay? So there's a lot of you that have to go back to chapter 2. I'll tell you right now. There's no wrong answers today because we're just trying to figure out where we are, so don't get upset, okay? If you fail today, it's okay. It's not a failure, you're learning, okay? So, those of you that answered D, let's address D real quick. Look at me. Pay attention. Those of you that answered D. Stan is a salesperson. Can the salesperson do anything with an escrow account? No. The salesperson cannot hold an escrow account. That's the first thing that's on the first page of chapter 2. No escrow accounts. So let's take it out. Let's go to the first one. Some of you answered A. Give it to the seller. No, because it's not the seller's. It's a good faith deposit that if I don't conclude this transaction, seller, you can keep the money. Until then, it's held in escrow. Hold it until closing. So those of you that answered B, hold it until closing, right? No. In fact, if you guys remember, you got 5 business days to deposit it somewhere. But who deposits? Not you, the broker. So the answer is C. As a salesperson, that's why I converted this to salespeople and seller and broker. As a salesperson, give it to the broker right away. Okay? You cannot hold on to the money until closing. You guys got it? Give me a thumbs up. Those of you that had it wrong, give me a thumbs up. Let me know. You got it now? Okay, good. Those of you driving, do not give me a thumbs up. Just keep driving. Hold on to that steering wheel. Hold tight. And the Relis says exactly what I told you last time, right? Never change answers. Never. All right. Take this out because I need it to be cleared. Next. Mrs. Hall signed a 30-day. I'm going to ignore you, Maria. Go get your coffee for the headache. Mrs. Hall signed a 30-day listing with a broker. The next day, she was killed in an accident. Did you guys notice in this exam we already killed 2 people, Ezra and now Mrs. Hall? It's a tough one in this exam, right? Now, the next day she was killed in an accident. The listing was then... It got dark real quick, I know. Outside too. Invalid, unless her husband ratified it. Still in effect for 29 more days. Binding upon her heirs if services had been performed or terminated. Before you answer, telling you, I'll give you a heads up. This is chapter 3 and also chapter 10. It's a listing. Okay? Mrs. Hall signed a listing. That's not a contract. The next day, she was killed in an accident. The listing was, go for the answer. It's not a contract. It's a listing. And to address Maria, you never know if it's wrong until you get the answers. All right. I guess we got unanimous decision, right? And the correct answer is terminated. See, here's what you guys got to remember. There's 2 parties to this contract. Because it's a listing, it's between the seller and the broker. It's not a contract to buy, it's just a listing. In fact, I can even withdraw the listing. I can take it out because I'm just trying to figure out if I could sell or not. Until it's in the contract, nothing is binding. You guys remember that? Shaki is like, first of all, don't yell at me, okay? First of all, don't yell at me. Don't go all caps at me. All right, that's the first thing. You laughing loud now? Why did I trick you? I didn't trick you. I just said, pay attention. It's a listing. Because I already knew somebody was going to answer B, and I already knew that somebody was going to answer C. The majority of you went for this one, which is perfect. Okay? But the answer is terminated. Whenever somebody dies, it terminates. That's chapter 3, and again, chapter 10, which is listings. Now, if it was a buyer, that might be a different story. A purchase is a purchase. Next, 17. A widow, another death. A widow received ownership of the family home for the rest of her life, with title going to her children on her death. Similar to Ezra, isn't it? The Ezra question. Pay attention now. She owns what? She who? The widow, right? She owns what? A life estate, a leasehold, a remainder, or an easement. They're not asking about the children anymore. Now they're asking about the spouse, the widow, the surviving spouse. She owns what? Josiel, you're searching for the answer? It's not in your bag. Maria even changed positions to answer this one. Shaisha, yell at me. Tell me the answer. All right? Shaki, I'm not even messing with you anymore. After you yelled at me, whew, I felt it. Okay. You should be. All right, guys. Here we go. Ready? We're trying to figure out about the widow. She owns what? The widow. Well, she received ownership as long as she's alive. Therefore, she has what we call a life estate. If they ask you about the children, it would be remainder, right? But they're not asking about the children. They're asking about the surviving spouse. What does she have? She has a life estate. Very good. So A. 18. Under the common law of agency. So this is chapter 3. The real estate broker has a fiduciary relationship with A, the client, B, other brokers only, C, seller's attorney, D, both the buyer and seller. Under common law of agency, the real estate broker has a fiduciary relationship with who? The client, other brokers only, seller's attorney, or both buyer and seller. Good save right now. Good save. Somebody just corrected their answer. Good. All right. Very good. So it appears to be a unanimous decision. You guys know that it's with the client. All right. So Sarah, that was a great save, by the way, and the exclamation points, because she had answered D, and that's incorrect, because I could represent one, the other, both, or none. So agency means I'm an agent for the client. So this one doesn't specify if there's an agency agreement or not. Got it? So correct answer is client. They become the client, the principal, to whom you owe specific duties. Very good. 19. Title to real property is passed when a valid deed is. Title to real property is passed when a valid deed is escrowed, signed, delivered, or witnessed. This is chapter 21. Title to real property. So I'm just letting you know it was a couple days ago. So title is said to be passed when a valid deed is escrowed, signed, delivered, or witnessed. Apologies, not chapter 21, chapter 19. My bad. Correct that, chapter 19. Still a couple days ago. Maurice, you keep on insisting on the answer? You have to answer twice? You're just throwing every letter you can, right? You did A, then A again, and now it goes C. Like there's two more, so don't just repeat stuff. Hey Brian, I don't know what's going on, but I got 2 logins from you. For some reason, it shows on my participants I have Brian. And I still have Michelle, so it's definitely not Michelle. Alright guys, so the correct answer is, for a valid deed to exist, first of all, it does not have to be witnessed, and we said that in the class. You don't have to have a witness. It doesn't even have to be dated. Escrowed, I don't know what that was, Mauricio. And as far as signed by who? Is it the signature that's going to make it valid transfer? We're talking about transfer, right? Is it the signature that's going to make it a valid transfer? No. To make it valid, it must be delivered and accepted. Correct answer is 19. C. Gotcha. All right. You guys good? All right. Now, 20, math. Let's go. I know you guys love this. We only got 4 more math questions to go, so don't worry. Now, math. We have a lot that's 80 feet wide. Before we go anywhere, do you guys told you if it's an area, one of the first things you should do is what? Draw the area so you know where the numbers go, just like the steering wheel. Okay? So, a lot is 80 feet wide and 200 feet deep. And it's sold at $500 a front foot. I think I gave you this question during the math chapter, right? The commission is 10% of the sales price. And the salesperson receives 60% of that commission. What does the salesperson receive? I just received a message from Stephanie. She's funny. She just joined us. I received 2 messages. One says, 6:57 says, "Hello Bruno, I'm flying today to California and not sure if I will be joining class today." And then at 7:02, this is the fastest flight I've ever seen. At 7:02, just landed Bruno, and I'm joining the class. So we got somebody on California time right now joining the class with a 5-minute flight. I don't know which flight she took or which plane, but from here to California, that was good. You had no Wi-Fi? Okay. Jonathan says United, hopefully. By the way, Jonathan works for United, so you can spam him with a bunch of messages if you need help. Brian says, me too. All right. Wow, that was quick. Shakia, he just answered you before you even said something. We got the Nike hookup, yep, and we got the United nobody pass. Hey, Jonathan, at least Shakia was giving a 40% and 50% discount. What's up with that, man? You're not giving anything at United? We got big numbers. These big numbers don't make sense. Do you guys think that was the commission that he was getting on a small lot like that? Big numbers don't make sense. Something is wrong. $80 feet wide, 200 feet deep. It's sold at $500 a front foot. If you guys are calculating area, you already did something wrong. We don't need area. In fact, there's a number here that we don't need at all. Maria says, I don't even know where to start. All right, come to 18 Oliver Street. I'll give you some coffee. Getting there. 31 people on the line. Well, 30 because Brian is occupying 2 spots. So 30 people. Okay. Let me start addressing it. Start helping you guys out. It's per front foot. Therefore, width. Front foot means frontage, and the width is always the front of the lot. So if it's $500 per front foot and there's 80 feet, right? This number is not needed at all. All we needed is to know which one's the front and which one is the side or the back or whatever. So it's the front. Jeff, I'm getting there. Step by step, my friend. So the first thing you need to do is multiply the 80 by $500. Multiply the 80 by $500 because it's 80 feet. And this lot cost $40,000. Okay, that was the sales price. Now, the commission that the brokerage received was 10%. 10% of what? Of the sales price. I'm not going to do the steering wheel because I don't have room here, but you guys know how to do this already, right? 10%. So that equals $4,000 commission. But is that what we received? No. We received 60%. That's what they're asking. How much did the salesperson receive? Salesperson received 60% of the $4,000. So, yeah, Jeff, that's why I answer. Thank you. See, that's what happens. Like Mauricio yesterday gave us the runaround, like to figure out something simple. So but there's just too much going on. So try to keep it simple. Like he was calculating the angle from here to the moon and back. It was still right. Yeah, Mauricio, I'm talking about you. Don't look at me like that. You see his face? Do you guys see his face? Anyway, so now we receive $4,000 commission to the office, but only 60% comes to the agent, to the salesperson. So the answer is B as in boy. Mauricio, don't get mad at me. Come on. I already have enough with Shakia yelling at me. Now you're going to get mad at me? No, I know you got it right. I was talking about the thing from yesterday. You wasn't paying attention? No, I'm mad at you. That's it. Big mad. For those that got the reference. Okay. So, you guys got it? Who has a question here? Because I know a few of you had this wrong, so don't worry about it. Never do. So, for those of you that got this wrong, let me know if you have questions. Shaisha, did you get it? Maria, you didn't know where to start. Are you good now? Tidy just gave up. Aurelis gave up. Steph, she's somewhere. Tahira, I don't know. Brian, I don't know what's going on over there. Who else? Queenie jumped off the bridge. Yara is somewhere there. Okay, let's see. Oh, we got too many people occupying this these slots. I got Pedro is on 2 of these. Who else? Okay. Yeah, the 2 times the hours doesn't work. You cannot log in like in 10 different sessions and get all the hours now. All right, so Steph said, I didn't know where to start, but I got it now. Maria got it. Maria, yes, front foot is always the width. I explained that in the math chapter when I did the rectangle. I put the width is always the front. The length is the length of how deep it is. Then you have area. I even told you that the front foot is also called frontage. Width equals frontage equals front foot. Okay? The only difference that I told you that the lot sold for $400 a front foot in my example. Okay. All right, 21. Now, just because of Maria's message, we're going to start seeing a bunch of people logging in on 3 or 4 devices. You don't get the extra hours, don't. Okay? 21. Restrictive covenants that run with the land. Restrictive covenants that run with the land are established by local municipalities, are binding on future owners of the property, must be approved by a court, or may not be more restrictive than building codes. Take your time before you answer. Restrictive covenants. Restrictive covenants. These are conditions that run with the land. Who sets those conditions? Is it local municipality? Now, is it binding on future owners? Must it be approved by a court? Or may not be more restrictive than the building codes? Hey, Tamori, do you work for United as well, or you just have the shirt? Like, am I the only one that doesn't work for United here? You used to work for United as well? Wow. What made you quit? Because I assume they didn't fire you, so what made you quit? All right, tomorrow you got a message from Jonathan. Now he's curious. Who are you in the roster of United? Were you a bench warmer? Were you the coach? Who are you? All right, see the answers coming through. All right, and it looks like everybody understood this one. It's binding on future owners. Yes, because restrictive covenants are placed from the seller to the buyer. So these are placed, or by a subdivider. These are placed in the deed, so that's perfect. 22. VA and FHA mortgages are notable for their subsidized payments, prepayment penalties, adjustable rates, or low down payments. Jonathan, he just went military on you. Negative. I was a supervisor. All right. FHA and VA mortgage. They're notable or known for what? What is a key feature of both FHA and VA? Key feature of FHA and VA. My business partner just wrote, I'm kind of working from there too. So it's just so many flights with United that he might as well work for them, right? He's about to fly out again. Anyway. I don't understand why he just doesn't buy an airplane. It's a lot easier. All right. Guys, correct answer is definitely D. Low down payments. Very good. Maria, I'm glad you caught that. All right, 23. Now, this one's tricky. Hopefully you remember. But who is uniquely in a position to provide the TRID toolkit to a buyer, but not required to? A, the lender. B, the buyer's agent. C, the closing agent. Or D, the insurance agent. Who is in a position, wait before you answer, who's in a position to provide it, but not required? Dimitar, I just saw a book open. Not supposed to have a book open. No books. No books. And now we started a conversation about United. So, Jonathan, which department? You know it's just easier to exchange phone numbers, right? Just saying. Okay. You are forgiven, Dimitar. You are forgiven. All right. Correct answer. Ready? Correct answer is B as in boy. B as in boy. See, for those of you that answered A, the lender is required to provide. The question says somebody that's not required to provide. The lender is required to provide. So this eliminates that. Okay? As far as closing agents, by the time we're closed, what does this matter anymore, right? Insurance agent, what do they have to do with the loan? So no. Ooh, I'm not even going to answer that one. The word uniquely is weird for that question. Well, it's just that not many people are in the position to explain these things to the buyer. So if you're the buyer's agent, you should, and I even told you guys to download this home loan toolkit, right? This is on chapter 14. To download the home loan toolkit where it explains, it's a pamphlet that explains what is the trade-off between points, right? And the interest rate, what is a rate lock, how to shop for different lenders, right? Figure out the rates. Now, TRID, TRID, stands for Truth in Lending Act and RESPA, Integrated Disclosures. So it's the TILA and RESPA Integrated Disclosures. And this, again, this is on chapter 14. We talk about TRID heavily in chapter 15 and then chapter 21. Okay. So to address what Jeff wrote, he wrote Truth in Lending Act. Yes, but you're missing RESPA, Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act as well. This is where we merged all the forms into one, which is called now LE. Okay? The Home Loan Toolkit, again, is something everybody should have. In the book, it tells you where to get it in Spanish, in English and in Spanish. And unfortunately, my assistant is not 100% on the call today, so that's why you still don't have it on the chat. Otherwise, you would have already the Home Loan Toolkit in the chat. All right, 24. Gotcha. 24. Private restrictions on land use may be created by zoning regulations, building codes, deeds, or any of the above. How do we create private restrictions on the land? Again, do you guys see how I point out a few things from the question? It's very important as you're reading to mark a few things. Just, you're going to have a piece of paper. If you don't get it right away, break down the question. Keyword was private here. And yes, deed. If it was public, then it would be zoning regulations or building codes. If it was public restrictions. So, private restrictions, seller to the buyer, deed. Okay? And again, let's try to do process of elimination. These two are public. This one is private. So D definitely cannot be the answer, right? But again, private restrictions. Who sets these? The government. So that will be public. Who sets this one? The seller. So that is private. Okay? Now, let me just mention something real quick. I know some of you are walking around and you're doing different things, and that might be also the reason why you're not answering a few things correctly. What I want to point out is this today is not mandatory at all, right? I hope it's helpful, but if your mind is not focused on what we're doing, then it's going to be tough to get the correct answer. So I'm just putting it out there, okay? So don't beat yourself up if you have the incorrect answer. It's just that you're really not here. You guys got it? So again, today is not about having it right or having it wrong. Yesterday was not about having it right or having it wrong. It's about me pointing out a few things that you guys need to look at in every question. So next, hours are done. Okay? But Tara, if you want more hours, I'll give you more hours, no problem. You've done the hours. All right. The use of subtle means to induce buyers to settle, this is chapter 4, in neighborhoods that the broker thinks appropriate is known as blockbusting, redlining, bird dogging, or steering. The use of subtle means to induce buyers to settle in neighborhoods that the broker thinks appropriate is known as blockbusting, redlining, bird dogging, or steering. Brian, I'll address that separately, since I still have to run the report on the hours. So I'll let you guys know. That's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, is running reports for every single one of you and see who did the hours, who didn't, who's eligible. So by Monday, you should receive an email whether you're eligible to get the to do the the school exam on Thursday or Friday. Okay. Now, it appears like everybody got it, and that's great. This is chapter 4, and the answer is steering. Very good. Next, 26. It says a mortgage broker usually offers what service? They handle closing procedures. They bring the borrower and lender together. They provide initial funding, or they sell mortgages on the secondary market. Mortgage broker, what do they do? Broker, what do they do? All right. There's 2 people. Go back to your answers. Broker. What does a broker do? Does a mortgage broker close? No. Do they provide the funding? Brokers, do they provide the funding? No. Do they sell mortgages on the secondary market? No. Mortgage brokers, they broker the deal. Just like us in real estate, they bring the borrower and lender together. We bring the seller and the buyer together. Mortgage bankers, that's why I highlight broker. Mortgage bankers, They might provide the initial funding, and they might even sell to the secondary market. But the question is, mortgage broker. It's essential that you guys read the questions and point out a few things before you answer. 27. A broker receives a commission only if she produces a buyer before someone else sells the property. She is probably working under what type of listing? All right, the broker receives commission only if she brings a buyer before someone else does. Is this an open listing, a net listing, exclusive right to sell listing, or exclusive agency listing? Very good. See, because it says before someone else, that means there's more people. Because there's more people, it's an open listing. Very good. Open listing. Okay? 28. Investors will sometimes borrow money to make real estate purchase. This practice is called bulk transfer, exchange, leverage, or pyramiding. I might have all the money, but I'm still going to borrow. What is this called? Bulk transfer, exchange, leverage, or pyramiding. This is chapter 17, right at the beginning. All right. And it appears everybody's on the same page. So that is called leverage. Very good. 29. A broker listing a house may be guilty of discrimination for purposely not mentioning the house to, I know you cannot read, but I'm reading for you. Purposely not mentioning the house to whom? Qualified Hispanic home buyers, qualified black home buyers, qualified white home buyers, or any of the above. When is a broker guilty of discrimination for purposely not mentioning a house? Is it to qualified Hispanic home buyers, qualified black home buyers, qualified white home buyers, or any of the above? All right? And correct. Any of the above. As long as they're qualified, it doesn't matter if they're Hispanic, black, or white. Okay? And those of you that don't fall into these categories, I'm sorry, there's only 4 answers, so it's not discrimination, okay? 30. I'm not listed there, so I'm not offended. 30. Deed restrictions are a method by which local zoning ordinances are enforced. The Planning Commission makes it work effective. Cities can control construction details, or the seller can limit the buyer's use. Deed restrictions are a method by which, and we should all know this already, local zoning ordinances are enforced. Planning Commission makes it work effective. Cities can control construction details, or the seller can limit the buyer's use. Very good. We already said that if it's a deed restriction, it's a private restriction, therefore the seller. Very good, guys. All right, 7:30, going to go for a quick break. All right, so 9 minutes, 7:40, we're going to be back, okay? Be right back. All right, guys, we're back. Everybody come back. Come on. All right. Ah, we got a baby. All right. Let's see. Missing a lot of people. Make sure you guys come back to the class. Courtney, is Courtney here? All right, Courtney, it might be the signal. So if you keep on dropping, it might be, it says your signal there. So plus you're driving, that's what it is. All right, 31. Which of the following exceptions is not allowed under New Jersey Fair Housing Law? Not allowed under New Jersey Fair Housing Law. Certain types of housing to be restricted to members of one sex. Home buyers may discriminate when selling their own homes. Religious organizations may discriminate on the basis of religion, or when renting a duplex or up and down two-family dwelling, an owner-occupant may discriminate except for race. Which of these ones is not allowed? Not allowed. These are all exceptions according to federal law. Which one of these is not allowed under New Jersey law? I know, these are the most confusing ones. Shakia says, baby, say hi to us. Hi, baby. How old? Steph, 31 and a blank is a problem. You got to write something there. Mauricio, nice couch. That's all I get. Lord Samuel Lake. 3 months old. Nice. You're picking him up. I thought you were going to go Hakuna Matata right now. All right. Let's see what we got. Did you just throw the baby? I don't know if you guys saw it. She just went like, boom. Somebody else pick it up? It's like... I have too much fun. All right. So, some of you are still thinking, and it's okay. I took 14 minutes in a discrimination question similar to this. I took 14 minutes to figure it out in the state exam. So I'm going to help you out right now. Under New Jersey law, the only exception is for rentals. Okay? And you can restrict to members of the same sex. You can restrict based on religion as long as it's the membership in that particular religious group. And you can discriminate if it's owner-occupants. What you cannot do under New Jersey law is discriminate when selling. Because New Jersey law only allows or has exemptions for discrimination when it's renting. That was the key word right there. Selling. Hey, Brian, you're tiny. What just happened there? And jumping around. So correct answer is B as in boy. Courtney, I don't know what TGJ is. Okay. But stick to the driving. If you are driving, do not touch your phone. It's okay not to answer. Please, guys. It's okay. 32. The primary purpose of a deed is to do what? Furnish security, give notice, transfer title rights, or prove ownership. 32. Yeah, I see you. I got you. Yeah. I got your answer. I locked in your answer. That's what it was. Great. Everybody's on point right here. Transfer. The primary purpose of the deed is to transfer. That's it. Very good. 33. A summary of the history of all conveyances and legal proceedings affecting a specific parcel of real estate is called chain of title, title insurance policy, certificate of title, or abstract of title. A summary of the history. Gotcha. I see those answers. Got it. In my previous class, I had somebody doing sign language, and I had to figure out what the answers were. Here I got people driving. Instead of typing, they go like, I got it. It's okay. I saw it. I saw it. Don't worry about it. I got you. And then I get blanks. Like, Shakia just ran 34 blank. We're not even there, but she's already answering 34. All right, guys. Correct answer is D, because summary is abstract, and abstract is summary. Did I need to read anything else? No. As soon as I read summary, I know it's abstract. Okay, that's what I mentioned to you guys when we were in the chapter talking about the 4 evidences of title ownership or proof of title. Okay. 34. At the closing, the cost of filing the deed in public records usually appears as a credit to the buyer, credit to the seller, debit to the buyer, or debit to the seller. Who pays for the cost of filing the deed? Who pays for the cost of filing the deed? Guys, filing the deed. That means there's a new deed after the closing. Who pays for filing the deed? Okay. All right, now it's getting better. I like these answers now. Correct answer for 34. Sorry. So, correct answer for 34 is debit to the buyer. Or as Jeff stuttered, 34C. All right. So, debit to the buyer. Why? Because the closing happened. You only file a deed when you own the property, right? So that means the closing happened. After the closing, all the expenses after the closing are to the buyer. So they're debits to the buyer. Okay? 35. A person cannot successfully claim that he or she did not know about the concerns of any recorded document. This legal principle is known as Statute of Frauds, actual notice, eminent domain, or constructive notice. You cannot say you did not know. This is called what? It says that it was recorded, right? So you cannot claim that you did not know. What is this called? Hey, Brian, nice hair. What a great answer. What chapter? I don't know this one. Great. You cannot claim that you did not know, because I gave you notice. I disclosed. The question is how? So let me eliminate these ones. I gave you notice. It's recorded. Can you say you did not know? Hmm, 35 question mark. Love that. There's two different types of notices. There's actual notice and there's constructive notice. So actual notice means you actually know. But what it says here is a person cannot successfully sue somebody else because he or she did not know. Okay? So if they say, I did not know, then I don't have actual notice. But constructive notice assumes that the information is available. This is chapter 21. It assumes information is available. If it's recorded, it's in public records, right? Just like the law. Go to Google and search it. Search the law. It's there, all right? You saying you did not know the law doesn't mean anything. You will still lose. You still have to pay for whatever crime you commit. Does that make sense? Saying you did not know something that actually is recorded in the public records, right, does not exempt you from a lawsuit. Okay? So constructive notice, chapter 21. 36. The purpose of TRID's, right? Just yell, now you know what TRID is, right? The purpose of TRID's loan estimate is to ensure what? Why do we need to know the loan estimate, the LE? That the buyers do not borrow more than they can repay. That real estate brokers are responsive to buyers' needs. That buyers know how much money is required, or buyers are aware of all the costs relating to their mortgage loan. So 36. Correct answer is okay. The majority of you are on point. It's about knowing all the costs related to the loan. Very good. Knowing all the costs. So the loan estimate is for you to estimate how much it's going to cost you to actually carry this loan. Okay? That is chapter 15. All right. Calculators. The questions that trap everybody right here. It says a building was bought for $250,000 with 10% down payment and a loan for the balance. If the lender charged the buyer 2 points, how much cash did the buyer need? So, before you guys move forward, I'm not going to tell you what points are, but what they're asking is 10% plus the points. How much cash do they need? Good luck. If anybody has like those of you that are just doing reviews until you get your exam with the state, I just received an email, and you guys probably did as well. If you're scheduled to take the exam in the next couple of days or weeks, now they have a questionnaire online for COVID. They kept on rescheduling people until recently. So hopefully they won't reschedule anything else anymore. If you have something scheduled for this following week and so on, just make sure you fill out the questionnaire and bring it with you. Without that questionnaire, according to the email, you will not take that exam. So you will lose $45 if you do not complete the questionnaire. Okay, so I know Jonathan, Sarah, Francina, there's a few of you here that are just doing this to keep it up. Myra, right? So make sure you guys have the. I just received the email, so if you want, I'll forward it to you. But it says it's on the PSI site. Okay. Make sure you do it before the exam. Brian, what kind of answer is that? 30 G's? Gonna go to the state exam and it says, yo, 30 G's. That's the answer. All right. But no, that's not the answer. It's not 30. You know why? Because it's not from the purchase price. All right. So Mario, you're missing something there. Guys, if you got to bring 10% of this and you got to bring 2 points, do you think the number is going to be a low number? Like a really low number? No, something is missing. Myra, so yeah, there's nothing until August because they kept on rescheduling people. But those that got rescheduled for now, for this upcoming week, hopefully it doesn't get canceled. That's all I'm trying to say. So people that had it for last week, they were rescheduled for August and so on. And maybe when you went to schedule yours, the only thing available, the only slot available was for August. So guys, this is a heads up. I know it sucks, but when you're done with this class, I do recommend either you keep watching the replays, you keep on doing the Quizlet, do something that keeps you going. Otherwise, from now until August or whatever it is that you're going to be scheduled, maybe even September, you will lose the knowledge. I'll tell you right now, if you don't keep on going, you will lose the knowledge. All right? I won't force you to come to Zoom, only if you want to. And if you're just watching the replay, so this is for tomorrow, you can skip the jokes, okay? And there's no detention if you're just watching the replay. Maria's asking, will they, let me address Connie first. You're always welcome back to class. You guys have up to 1 year that will count to complete the hours. Other than that, you're always welcome to my class. Whether it's now, in a year, in 2 years, in 10 years, I really don't care. You're always going to come to the class. The jokes will definitely be the same, but good news, it's available. As far as Maria, will they extend what the year you have? I'll tell you what, if they don't, I will. And I don't care what the Real Estate Commission says. You can contact them directly, the Real Estate Commission. PSI just follows whatever Real Estate Commission says. But if they don't, I will. Okay? I've done that to somebody recently. I extended their year. I gave them a new certificate with the extension. Because it's not fair. Okay? All right, looks like we've got a bunch of answers here. And Brian is still at the G's, so we'll go with that. All right, let's figure it out. Is it 20,000, 22,500, 25,000, or 29,500? Okay. First thing you need to remember, what is a point? 2 points are 2% of loan. Never the purchase price. Never, ever, ever the purchase price. So they bought it for 250. But what was the loan amount? Well, the loan amount was 250 minus the 10%, right? Because the 10% is the down payment. So how much is the down payment? Well, 10% of, I don't need to do math for this, right? 10% of 250,000, you already know it's 25,000. But that's not the answer. That's just the down payment. Okay? That's the easiest one to get. What they want to know is the 25,000 plus the points. What is the total they have to bring? So you need to figure out, because points are from the loan amount, you need to figure out what's left over after the 25,000. So do we need to do any math here? Right away, no. What you need to look at is how much is the loan. The loan is 225,000, right? Because it's minus the 25,000. So 250 minus 25,000 is 200 and $225,000 loan. And now we do the math. And when I say do the math, is like the complicated one, because this one you can do it on top of your head, and this one as well. So now we're trying to figure out what? How much the points are. And points are a portion of the loan. So therefore, we're just trying to figure out what goes on top. So we got 2 open slots. Now it doesn't matter how you do it, right? Once you know what you're trying to figure out, you only have 2 open slots, so it doesn't matter how you do it. You know that at the bottom is multiply. So it's 225,000 times 2%, okay, or times 0.02. So that totals 4,500 in points. Am I right? You guys got it so far? All right. But the question is, how much cash did the buyer need? Well, they need $25,000 as a down payment plus 4,500 in points. So the total that they need in cash is D as in David, 29,500 G's. All right, any question here? Let me know if you guys have questions. Nope? We're good? Let me see. Raise your hand if there's a question. No hands raised? Okay. Oh, okay. All right. I see it. I see it. Sorry, I was getting used to seeing you in the car. What is the question? How did I get the 225,000? Right here. 250,000 is the purchase price minus the down payment, which is 10%. What is the down payment? 10% of that is 25,000. So, but you can put on your calculator, you can put 250,000 minus 10%. It gives you the balance. All right. So it's always the difference. Down payment and purchase price, the difference is LTV. Purchase price and LTV, the difference is down payment. Okay. And you were not understanding why we added? Because they're charging points. Okay? Yep. Great. All right, 38. A mortgage loan payable in installments sufficient to pay the principal off by the end of the term is called a fully amortized loan, partially amortized loan, straight loan, or blanket loan. We already covered that before, didn't we? Again, just proving the point that sometimes question number 2 will be the answer to question 80. So we already answered this before, something similar. And yes, A, if the installment payments are sufficient for the balance to reach 0 at the end, then it's called a fully amortized loan. Very good. 39. Which of the following deeds contains no expressed or implied warranties? Which of the following deeds contains no expressed or implied warranties? Bargain and sale deed, quit-claim deed, grant deed, or warranty deed. Which one of these, 39, which one of these contains no expressed or implied warranties? Chapter 19. And correct answer is B as in boy. Quit-claim deed has no warranties. I'm even telling you that I don't know if I have an interest or not in the property, or a benefit or not in the property, or if I'm the owner or not. I'm just transferring it to you and you're accepting it. So it comes with no expressed or implied warranties. Okay? The bargain and sale deed, so for those of you that answered A, the bargain and sale deed, that's the one that's used for foreclosures. We're not promising, as a lender, let's say, I'm not promising what happened before. I'm not promising what's happening after. I'm not even promising what happened while I own the property. All I'm telling you is that I have the right to transfer you the property, but no expressed or implied guarantees. Simple as that. Quit-claim deed, no guarantees whatsoever. Doesn't even say that I'm the owner or have interest in the property. Okay? Chapter 19. 40. The disclosures required by TRID apply to brokers selling office buildings, security salespersons with limited partnerships, Ginnie Mae when purchasing mortgages, or lenders financing purchase of a residence. Look at process of elimination here. TRID disclosures required by TRID apply to what? Brokers selling office buildings, security salespersons with limited partnerships, Ginnie Mae when purchasing mortgages, or lenders financing the purchase of a residence. Correct. D. Very good. All right. 41. A comparative market analysis is usually provided by appraiser, listing agent, lender, or closing agent. Who does comps? Courtney, that's chapter 15, if you need. All right, who does comps? Very good. So, the listing agent does comps. Easy. All right, so we still have a few to go, obviously. It's 8:12. I just want to show you something. We're at question 40, right? 41. And if you guys notice, we started off at a little late. We have the break and so on. We're taking our sweet time. We're having jokes and all that stuff. I'm just showing you how it's possible to actually do the whole exam in less than 4 hours. Some of these are simple. This was quick, this was quick, this is quick. So there is a way. Just make sure you guys pay attention to the questions and try to answer these quick ones first. Get them out of the way, so then it's called time management. Get them out of the way so then you can handle the longer ones, like math. All right? Now, 42. By the way, you don't need to have 100%. You know that, right? You need 75 in my exam, and you need 70 in the state exam. This is not a competition for 100% because when you get to real life application, a lot of these things are different. You need to study enough to be knowledgeable about it, but you don't need to memorize every single thing. You need to comprehend it versus memorizing, okay? So, and also understand how the question goes. A legal action brought by either the buyer or seller to enforce the terms of the contract is known as, so the buyer suing the seller or the seller suing the buyer to enforce the terms of a contract is known as an injunction, specific performance, lis pendens, or an attachment. Legal action brought by either the buyer or the seller to enforce the terms of the contract is known as an injunction, specific performance, lis pendens, or an attachment. All right. So, because we have 3 or 4 people that got different answers, I'm going to address this real quick. An injunction, for those of you that chose A, it's an order by the judge. It's not the legal action. It's an order by the judge. A legal action means you're suing somebody. Here, lawsuit. We're not talking about the decision. An injunction is an order by the judge. So, no. Okay? Attachments, definitely not. Lis pendens is just a notice of lawsuit pending. Okay? So lis pendens is a notice. It's not an actual lawsuit. Okay? We're telling you that the lawsuit is happening somewhere in public records, and that's why we have the lis pendens here. Somewhere in court, and that's why we have lis pendens here into public records to give you a notice, to give you an alert, potential buyer, that there's a lawsuit that could affect you. All right? So no. Under Chapter 11, there's an actual section that says performance of contract. I can sue you, or you can sue me, if I decide to back out of a contract without a legal excuse. And that lawsuit is called a lawsuit for specific performance, meaning to perform the terms of the contract. Okay? So correct answer is B as in boy, specific performance. And that is Chapter 11. Okay? 43. It says right here, to avoid possible violation of antitrust regulations, one should avoid any discussion of commissions with, this is Chapter 3 right at the end, we should avoid talking about commissions, discussion of commissions with A, competitor, B, other associates in the office, C, potential listers, or D, anyone. To avoid violation of antitrust regulations, you should avoid talking about commissions with who? A competitor, other associates within the office, potential listers, or anyone. Okay? All right. So, I'm going to address a couple of them here. Potential listers. So we cannot discuss commission with the seller? That's a lister, right? We cannot? Of course we can. We can even negotiate. So we're not avoiding this one. Remember, the key word is avoid. Okay? Other associates in the office. Can I not speak about commission with my colleague here? I can. I can definitely discuss with people in the office. You got it? In fact, as a broker, let's say, I can tell you guys, hey, this month, let's bring 7%. Let's bring 8%. I can do whatever I want within the office. Therefore, anyone is definitely not one of the options. We cannot talk about commissions with a competitor, because then we would be setting or potentially setting standards. And that's what the antitrust regulation is all about. Not setting standards, because commission is negotiable. We cannot tell a competing office, hey, my office just did a 7% promo. We're going to stick to 7%. And then the other office goes like, then we're going to stick to 6%. Do you understand? So that's when it starts creating monopolies, standards. And there's nothing affixed by the real estate commission or any other governmental agency about the actual commission. There's no standard. So we cannot discuss with competitors. And that is under the Sherman Antitrust Act. And the penalties, the fines are $1 million. I'm sure you remember this one. The fines are $1 million and or 10 years in jail. Plus paying for legal costs of the person that suffered from our acts. You remember that? Okay. Chapter 3, Antitrust Act. Cash flow. What does cash flow mean? A, the amount of money flowing in and out of the property. B, a bookkeeping function accounting for each day's money. C, total remaining money after expenses have been paid. Or D, taxes, mortgage payment, and operating costs. Cash flow. What does it mean? Cash flow. I see some of you already with hair all over the place. All right, some of you are losing hair. Listen, don't stress. We're just trying to figure out where we are right now, okay? That's all. Relax, enjoy, and even when taking the exam, take the pressure off. Don't think you have to pass. You don't, okay? Don't put that pressure on yourselves. You don't have to pass. You just have to do your best. And if you pass, great. If you don't, you know where you are, period. You guys got it? Okay. I have 2 exams coming up for me. If I fail, I fail. I just have to learn with what I failed. Does that make sense? That's all. Tomorrow is like negative. No, I'm not failing. That's it. This is chapter 17, Natalia. Yeah, most people want the one and done. Correct. But the problem is those people that want the one and done, if they fail, it destroys their lives. And that's what I'm trying to say. Hopefully you will pass. That's what I'm rooting for, that you get it done the first time. But what I'm trying to tell you is during the exam. Okay, up to the exam, yeah, beat yourself up to study and get ready for it. So it's called conditioning, right? But during the exam, don't stress over one question, over 2 questions. You might have it right. Don't stress. Keep moving. All right? And that's why I tell you to answer the short questions first, like this one. Cash flow means. Right? Now, if you get stuck in what cash flow means, even though it's a small... Tomorrow, you're terrible. Sorry, guys. So even though we have short answers, if you get stuck in it, then skip it. Okay, if you don't know what cash flow means, skip it. Come back to it later. It's as simple as that. Don't waste your time in any question. Do not waste time in any question. Move forward. Okay? Um, listen, to address real quick, I have to do this because it's very important. I was laughing, but it's actually very important. This right here, they need to be on somebody's couch. We don't know what people are going through. I'll put it out there right now. I don't know what you guys are going through. I don't know why you're doing this, right? For some people, it's kind of like, hey, last resort. I got to do something because I cannot get a job anymore. All right? Sometimes it could be based on age. It could be based on physical conditions, right? For me, I cannot work construction because I have physical conditions that stop me from doing it. No labor, no hard labor. So I have to use my head and do what I do here, right? So everybody has different reasons. And some people, like the other day, yesterday actually, I was searching something on Twitter, right? And I went for a hashtag. And as soon as I put that hashtag, the first thing that popped up is, hey, do you need help? Like Twitter actually is looking for these people that are looking for these types of words, right? And it had nothing to do with, I guess, what they thought I was doing. But the word was broken. And I was looking for just for images or posts about broken, right? Immediately, as soon as I put hashtag broken, the first thing it said was, do you need help? We're here to help, right? People you can contact, whatever. So I was laughing because tomorrow you could be right. If people take this serious that it destroys his life, you could. But again, we don't know what's behind all that, all right? And everybody, even when you go list a home and you go try to sell a home, you don't know the reason why somebody's selling. And sometimes people are selling because they just cannot handle it anymore. They cannot be there for whatever reason. All right, guys? So just don't stress. Relax. If it's not this time, it will be next time. And I'm here to help regardless. But when you go for the exam, until the exam, do study. Get yourself ready. Conditioning, like I said. During the exam, just chillax. That's it. That's all I got to say. So cash flow. What does cash flow mean, right? It's whatever money is left after expenses. Cash flow. Hopefully, all your properties will have cash flow. All your businesses will have cash flow, right? And they will. The question is it positive or negative cash flow? Let's make all cash flow positive, okay? Again. 45. The town allows construction on quarter-acre lots, and one subdivision has a restriction for at least, here it says 1 acre. It doesn't say, but it's 1 acre lots. And even if you have the physical book, you'll notice that it's not the scanning, it's what it says. It's missing the 1 acre lots. So which statement is true? The town allows for quarter-acre, subdivision 1 acre. Which statement is true? A, if the town issues a building permit for a quarter-acre lot, no one can block the construction. Neighbors in the subdivision may enforce the 1 acre restriction by calling local police. The town will not issue a permit for less than 1 acre lots in the subdivision. Or neighbors may enforce the 1 acre limit, but only through a court order. So the town has a quarter acre restriction, so it has to be a lot, it has to be at least a quarter of an acre, right? The subdivision says 1 acre. Which one of these is the correct answer? If the town issues a building permit for the quarter acre, no one can block the construction. If neighbors in the subdivision may enforce by calling the police, the town will not issue a permit, or neighbors can enforce it through court order. And the correct answer is D as in David. Very good. Okay? Listen. The subdivision prevails because it was approved by the town. And the neighbors decide, the people in that community decide whether or not to allow that construction to happen. So if they say no, and they can take you to court and ask you to take that house down. 46. Long question. What do we do with long questions? We skip them, but not today. So Rex Vale lives in one side of a duplex. He refuses to rent the other side to Marion Washington, a single black woman with a good credit and income. Now he tells her he wants to choose his neighbors. Marion may have a remedy under which of the following acts? The Fair Housing Act of 1968, the Civil Rights Act of 1866, New Jersey law against discrimination, or none of the above. He just said, I live on one side, so this is owner-occupied. Remember, that's what it says. This is owner-occupied, right? But he refuses to rent to the other side to Marion Washington, which is a single black woman with good credit and income. He tells her that he wants to choose his neighbors. She may be able to sue based on what exactly? Wow, it's the first time we get A, B, C, and D. What's going on? All right. I'm going to stop you there. Ready? First of all, we can always reject somebody based on credit. So it's definitely not the credit because she has good credit. So it's not that. Second, if it's based on her being black, then it's based on race and color. And there's no exception for race and color. There's no exception for race and color. So for question 46, what is the correct answer now, based on what I just said? It's definitely not D, because there's no exception to race and color. So after what I said, which law talks about race and color? You guys should know this. Something is wrong here. Race and color. The whole question was about being a single black woman. If they ask you about the marital status, then maybe. But no. Nope. Not the Fair Housing Act of 1968, because that added religion and national origin. Not the New Jersey law against discrimination, because they just enforced whatever federal said and put additional laws. 1866. I told you I didn't care about all the fluff here in the word Civil Rights Act. But I cared about you associating 1866, associate with race and color. Okay? I don't even know what to answer Sarah right now. Well, Jeff, as far as primary residence, because it's race and color, there's no exceptions, period. If it was something else, if it was for another reason, the way they started, yeah, it's my primary residence, so I could actually discriminate. I could actually choose who my neighbors are. Okay? I could. But the problem was, this is based on color. That's the problem. Okay? So the answer is going to be always 1866. Okay? Listen. Somebody just messaged me on YouTube, but then deleted. I didn't even see the message. Anyway. Let's go to the next one. You guys and your names on YouTube is awesome. I never know who's talking to me. In this case, the name is On the Scene with Kaz and me. Sorry, don't know who you are. Thank you for the message, and I'm sorry you had to delete it. All right, next, 47. In the valuation of large office building, which approach is given the most weight? Which one qualifies the best for an office building? Is it the cost approach? Is it the income capitalization approach? Is it the market data approach? Or all have equal weight? All right, at this point, it's easy, right? Brian, I don't know what you're slashing there, but okay. All right, Tidy, you're just messing with me. You're not on two forums. So do you have stereo? Is that what it is? You have me on Zoom, and then you have me on the on the YouTube stereo sound. Amina, how are you? That's who it is. Okay, change your YouTube name. Just because you got the answer wrong, don't retract it, because then I'll be able to explain it to you. Okay. All right here. Oh, Tidy, you're working on my views? Okay, thank you. By the way, when she says she's working on my views, it's because if I have more views on YouTube, eventually it'll become more popular. That's what it is. It'll start showing for other people. So the correct answer for 47 is B as in boy. Because it's an office building, there's not many to compare. We already went over this. So it's income. The only thing I'm missing, guys, is subscribes, by the way, just so you guys know. Jeff just wrote hit the likes too. It's not so much about the like, it's more about the subscribes right now for me. I have the likes, I have the time, but it's subscribing. That's what's missing. So make sure you guys go and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. All right, 48. A broker must pay Social Security taxes, workers' compensation, and unemployment insurance for all associates, part-time salespersons, independent contractors, or employees. The broker must pay taxes or withhold taxes for who? Correct answer is, very good. Maria, I don't know what kind of answer is that. All right, we had yesterday we had V, now we have S, but the answer is D. It's the coffee withdrawal. I understand. It's making you see other letters and more answers. All right, 49. The fiduciary duty forbids a listing broker, advising a seller that the list price is too high, negotiating for an offer if it is below the listed price, advertising property at less than the listed price, or relisting the property at a lower price. Fiduciary duty, so your obligation to the seller, forbids you from doing what? Advising a seller that the price is too high, negotiating an offer if it is below the listed price, advertising property at less than the listed price, or relisting the property at a lower price. Josiel, you have a question? Put the question with a smile and it will come through. There you go. A real estate salesperson, you're going to be This is funny. A real estate salesperson, you're going to be independent. So you're responsible for your own taxes. Okay? I don't know what to tell you. Seriously. My hair looks 3D on YouTube. Hey, Amina, can you let me know if my hair looks 3D on YouTube since you're there? Hopefully everything looks 3D. I mean, if I look 2D, it will be a problem. I'll be talking to you like this. Independent contractors. Oh. 49. Correct answer is C as in Charlie, advertising the property at less than the listed price. See, if it's listed for $400,000, how can I advertise for $350,000? You guys got it? I have to advertise for whatever it's listed. Everything else, my belly's not 3D. Wow. I don't even know what the answer. Let me go to this because that was, I don't know what to say. All right, right here. Fiduciary duty forbids a listing broker advising the seller. It's actually my fiduciary duty to tell you that the fair market value of the property is $500,000. You know, if you want to sell it for $700,000, it could affect you. So we have to advise the seller that it's too high, right? We have to help negotiate the offer if it is below the listed price, right? We have to help it bring it up. And finally, can we relist the property at a lower price? Yeah, if they allow us, sure. Simple. This is what we cannot do. No comments. 50. And Brian, yes and no. So, 50. Which of the following represents voluntary lien? Voluntary lien, meaning you want to. Mortgage, special assessment, estate tax, or ad valorem tax. Which of the following represents a voluntary lien? A mortgage, special assessment, estate tax, or ad valorem tax? And Amina just says it does. So guys, my hair on YouTube apparently is 3D. I don't know how could that be, but okay. But not my belly. Every time I hear the word belly for the past 12, 13 years, I just think of Fat Bastard, if you guys know who he is. Get in my belly. Either that or Ludacris. They made a song for it. All right, so the correct answer is A, because it is voluntary. You asked for it. Very good. 51. Calculators. Calculators. Or phones, Moses. A house sold for $157,000. The broker charged a 6% commission and divided it as follows. 10% went to the salesperson, Alan, who took the listing, and the rest was divided equally between the salesperson, Betty, who made the sale, and the broker's office. Pay attention to the question. What was Alan's commission? That means we don't need to have all this information. There's something here that's extra. They just want to know about Alan's commission. Tara is like Speedy Gonzalez right now. I didn't even finish. She already got the answer. I'm not saying it's correct. I'm just saying she already answered. Moses says 9,000 because it's impossible for us to work for that little money. It's 9,000. Moses, put another zero because if I'm gonna be a salesperson, I want to make big bucks. That's what it is. Brian says 942. Alan's getting played. Possibly. – Everybody's putting the same answer. Imagine all of you were wrong. That would be so messed up. Right? Remember, copying is cheating. So make sure you're not copying from the other people. All right. Let's figure it out. Is it 942, 4,710, 9,420, or 15,700? Correct answer is A, 942. So let's figure out how much it is. See, the house sold for 157,000 and the broker charged 6% commission. Well, 157,000 and it's 6% commission, so times 6%. Jasiel said you quit? Wow. Somebody got the right answer. Look at this. Let me address that somebody real quick before I say anything else. Do you guys know that the listing agent barely does anything? While the buyer's agent has to jump through hoops to get everything done, the listing agent lists and gets a CO and shows up at closing. Pretty much. A little marketing here and there. $942 for just doing that? If you divide by the amount of hours that you actually spend, you made either $100 or $150 an hour at minimum. So I don't know what kind of money you guys, expect to get, but it's not that bad. But obviously we always want more, so it's possible to get more. Yes, it is possible to get way more. So I still agree with some of your comments. I'd rather make $942 than make zero. So let's go back here. So 157,000 was the sales price and 6% was the commission, right? What are the numbers, guys? I'm not that good at math, so what are the numbers? Was that the 6% commission? All right. Good. So that's not the answer because salesperson, Alan, took 10%, and that's what they're asking about Alan's commission. Right? He took 10% of this. So 942 times 10%, that's his commission. He got $942 as a total commission. And the other ones that did the work, all the work of bringing a buyer, getting the mortgage, getting all the inspections done, all that good stuff, they got the difference. I confused you when I said you didn't need all the info? Yeah, look what you did not need. Let me show you here. You did not need this, this, or this. Because you only needed to know what Alan made. Because that's what they're asking. So that's what I said. All these right here, not needed. Okay? So if they're asking specifically about one person, then let's figure out what that person has. Like me today, I went to the doctor earlier, and he's asking me, what's your chief complaint? I have a back injury for several years, over 15 years. And what's your chief complaint? I said, well, mid-lower back is the worst. Yeah, but which one is hurting the most? I'm like, well, but I got problems in my neck, mid, and lower. He's like, but which one is hurting you the most? I said, lower back. Okay, then that's what we're going to address. I'm like, well, what if the problem is from the neck, right? But he's a pro. I'm going to go through a treatment. But my point is, right here was the same thing. Go for what you need, right? Go for what you need for the question. There might be more info that right now for this particular question is not needed. If they asked you how much did the broker receive, then you need the extra piece of information. You need to know the 10% and the difference. You guys got it? So go for what is needed. By the way, he is treating the rest. He's going to go in stages. That's what he was saying. Just in case you think he's a bad doctor. He might be. We'll figure out. Now, Smith Waterhole Company constructed a swimming pool. Personally, before I read anything else, I would never buy a swimming pool from a company that's called Waterhole. You know what's going to happen, right? So, Smith Waterhole Company constructed a swimming pool. On completion, so we were done, they filed a lien for non-payment. A lien for non-payment. And this was most likely a general lien, special lien, construction lien, or voluntary lien. That one was easy, right? It's a construction or mechanics lien. Every time it's non-payment for work that was done on your property. Yes, perfect. All right, 53. The term leverage, wait, didn't we hear this before already? Earlier today? All right. The term leverage refers to what? Bob Marley? The use of borrowed money to finance most of the investments. Using influence at the bank to make a loan, or measuring the impact of cash flow. Is it the movement of the people? Is it borrowed money to finance most of an investment? Is it influence at the bank to make a loan? Or measuring the impact of cash flow? Answer now, all of you. Very good. Use of borrowed money. That was the question before. It is called leverage. 54. The illegal practice of inducing panic selling in the neighborhood for financial gain is called A. Steering, B. Redlining, C. Blockbusting, or D. Canvassing. Illegal practice of inducing panic selling. It's called, very good guys, it's called blockbusting. Okay? And 55. Connie, you paid for one person, not two. All right. A broker must obey a seller's instructions to avoid all mention of the septic system, to show the property only to white couples, to refuse low offers without presenting them, or to be present personally at all showings of the property. A broker must obey the seller's instructions to avoid all mention of septic system, to show property only to white couples, to refuse low offers without presenting them, or be personally present at all showings of the property. Tidy, I can't with you. You're too much. You don't get double the score. I'm telling you right now. Answering on both ends, you don't get double the score. Lawful instructions only, okay? Lawful instructions only. Sorry, they still have to. We are the rep. You guys are like, these questions just come completely out of context. All right, correct answer is, for 55, is D. Look, we have to mention septic system, because if we don't know about septic system, then the value might be different. Okay? Show the property only to white couples, it is discrimination. So that's unlawful instructions. Both A and B are unlawful instructions. For those of you that picked C, guys, we cannot refuse any offers because we're not the owners. Only the seller can refuse offers. So we have to present them regardless. That's law. That's New Jersey law. All right? So definitely not this one. But if they say, hey, you're my agent, every time there's a showing, be present, then that's a lawful instruction. And we have to follow. Okay? Let me address just yell real quick. Can you be a title specialist and a real estate agent? You can be whatever you want. Don't let anybody tell you you can't. All right? Pursuit of happiness. But can you participate in both of them in the same transaction? Possibly not. Okay? I don't recommend you wearing both hats at the same time. You can be the mortgage specialist. You can be the realtor. You can be the home inspector. You can be all titles if you want. All right? You can have as many licenses as you want. The thing is, if you're acting as a realtor in this transaction, then be the realtor. If you're acting as the mortgage person in this transaction, then be the mortgage person. Does that make sense? But can you? Yes, absolutely. Yes, Francina, that was a dad answer, I know. Yep. All right, guys? Do you guys have any questions? We're done. Do you have any questions? Wait, you guys want more? I mean, I'll go for it. The coffee was strong. I'll stay here until 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. I do it every day. Let me address something real quick right here. Hold on. Amina just said, wow, change my answer, shaking my head. That's why I keep failing the test. Not confident in my answer. So do not change answers. I don't know how many times, like, Brian, how many years do you know me already? The first time you took my class, right? Almost 3 years, I know. The first time you took my class, what did I say? Don't change answers. Natalia, what did I say? Don't change answers. All right? I could go around and around, even with the ones right here that just started the class. How many times did I say, don't change answers? That is key. All right? I prefer that you fail because you have to fail than fail because of doubt. Okay? What if you had it right? Just like it happened to Amina right now. She had it right. You guys got it? All right, so here's the thing. Let me just give you a heads up. There's no class on Monday. There's no class on Tuesday. There's no class on Wednesday. We're going to have exam on Thursday. Tomorrow's all happy. Freedom. You're going to have an exam on Tuesday. On Thursday or on Friday. I'm going to do a report this week on your hours and see which ones of you actually completed the hours. And you will receive an email saying that you are eligible to take the exam. Click here to register. You have to register for the exam. It's different than what we've been doing, because what you've been doing is just clicking and going straight into the session, or we've been giving you the ID and you go into it. For the exam, it's a totally separate ID and as secure as possible. You have to register for it. Okay, so I'm just letting you know. If you have any difficulty, with getting into the exam or anything like that, let me know. If you cannot do it on the Thursday for any reason, let me know. I'll put it for Friday. If you cannot do Friday, let me know. I'll put you for Thursday. All right. The other thing I have to say is make sure you guys take advantage to study right now. Take advantage to use the Quizlets, to use all the student resources that I have there for you, okay? They're right here. Take advantage, okay? You have Quizlet, you have the book, you can ask me questions on WhatsApp. Everything is right here. You can review our past videos on our YouTube channel. Okay. You can test yourself. So right now, I want you over the weekends and until the test yourself as much as you can. I pay for this service, so take advantage of it. Whatever it is here, when you click, it's going to take you to a site very similar to what's going to be the school exam, and test yourselves as many times as you want. There's no restriction. Do the test 10 times if you want to. Okay? Then you're going to get your answers. And once you get your answers, you're going to be able to read and see where you made the mistake. And again, I can guarantee you that 90% of the times is because you don't know how to read. All right? And I'm not calling you anything. It's just distraction. That's what I meant. Okay? That's all it is. Okay? Let me see. You like the book? Hardcover. How can you obtain it? If you really want the actual book, the book is $50. Right? So you have to let us know, and we'll create a separate arrangement just for that. You don't have to, but if you want to, you can do that. It's whatever cost. Actually, we're $5 cheaper than Dearborn, which is where the book comes from, because we buy in bulk. We get it a little bit cheaper, and we pass that savings along to you. Okay? If it'll be highlighted, no. The book you'll have to highlight all over again. All right, guys. The exam is going to be at 5. It's the same as the. So Courtney was asking. It's the same as this. So it's 5:30. I'll give you about 10 minutes for you guys to join, and then everybody starts at the same time. If you don't join, letting you know right now, if you're not in by the time I start the exam, you will not be able to join. So this is not like these classes where you guys are walking in whenever you want into the class. If you're not there, I will lock the meeting. You won't be able to do it. That link is specific for that day. So if you don't take it that day, we'll have to reschedule you for another day. And I'm only doing the exams twice a month. So it'll be on Thursday and Friday, and then sometime on the Saturday, like 2 weeks after that. So I'm just letting you guys know so you can address this. All right, let's see. Tara's asking if it's until 9 or no. You have up to 4 hours to complete. So same as the state exam. Okay. If you guys have any questions, reach out to me separately. I wish you guys good luck. And if you want to keep coming to classes, you're very welcome. As you know, there's a few people here that are from the previous class, or they're just here to review. Okay. So good luck, guys.